Hey, and what is up, everybody? Welcome to Thursday's edition of my hair is all jacked up. Hold on a second. Okay, there we go. Oh, much better. I don't know about much better, but it's better. Welcome to Thursday's edition of our Mystic Road Trip. This is the episode where I take one tarot card and we dive deep into it, talk about its meaning, symbology, numerology, some associations, and things that you can use to make your tarot practice more better? No, that's not right. Better. Just to make it better, make it more well-rounded. I like to dive deep and really learn a lot about the cards as much as possible. And of course, it will depend on the deck. I am an intuitive reader, so understanding the definition and all of this is amazing, but I really do go off of the feeling and the vibe of the person and the card itself. And there are many different cards that out there. When I talk about the symbology and everything, I am talking about the traditional Rider-Waite image. There are 50,000 million bajillion different other tarot decks out there. For instance, I have this one, which by the way is one of my favorites. It's called the Black Cat Tarot, and it's by, let's see if I can read this name. It's I'm so old. Here, it's by this person. Oh, can you see it? Nope. It's by Marta Kumana. Maria Carrara. I think I need glasses. So it's by Maria Carrara, and you see the images are very different. Let me show you. Let me just pull out one. Okay, so this is Lovers. This is what I'm talking about. So this is this deck. This is the Lovers in this deck, right? So when I'm talking about traditional, I am talking about the traditional Rider-Waite or images of that nature. I have the Thoth deck. So let me see if I can find the Lovers real quick, so we can see the difference in the cards. It's in here somewhere. Come on, lovers. I'll have to. Nope, that's the devil. The lovers, looking for the lovers. Okay, so we'll have to do this real cautious like. We're going to put that over there. So this is, let's see if I can do it. Oh, don't look at the nakedness. Don't look at the nakedness. I don't know. We're just going to, what the fuck? I don't care. This is the more traditional deck, right? If you look at that, and then this is the other deck. Okay? So I'm an intuitive reader, so I go off of the image as well as the vibe of the person, right? These are two very different images. So when I'm talking about the images and the symbology, I'm talking about more of this than I am this. Okay? Some of the symbology is still there, but not really. Okay? So I thought I'd do a visual representation because I am on YouTube now, and so I can. So I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for having nudity. We'll just go like this. I don't know. Whatever. I mark it not under 18. So this is the tarot card I would be using for the symbology. Okay. Granted, I'm not doing the Lovers, but this is the first card that came to my mind, which probably means something, I think. But anyways, so that's more the traditional deck. So when I'm doing these tarot there's these tarot deep dives, that's the deck that I'm more inclined to look at, because it's the one that I feel like most everybody has at least one of the more traditional decks. It's usually the ones you get first, and then you kind of learn with it. The more abstract ones, by the way, this is so beautiful, guys. Check out the back of this. Like, come on. Look at these cards. So stunning. Seriously, guys, if you get a chance, check this deck out. Definitely worth it. It's a beautiful deck. Okay, so now that I've kind of done that, Let's talk. My name is Kim, and I am an intuitive tarot reader. I am a meditation guide, a life coach, holistic dietitian, and astrologer. All around lover of anything kind of spiritual and woo-woo. And that's kind of why I'm doing this, because I'm trying to build my knowledge. And my path, as I've said before, is the best way for me to learn is to teach. I know that seems backwards, but so basically the way I'm designed is that I take in information, and the best way for me to really learn and dive deep into it and kind of dissect it is to share what I've learned. That's just kind of what I've come to realize over the past couple of years. I am by nature a teacher. I am by nature a person who loves to share knowledge. And that's kind of why the podcasts came about. And I say podcast because I do have 2 podcasts. Before we get started with this week's tarot card, which is the Star, let me do some house cleaning and some shameless plugging. So if you want to contact me, there's ways to do that in the description box. There's also ways to support the podcast financially. At the very least, I would really appreciate it if you would like, review, comment, share, do all that kind of stuff. And please watch and listen to the whole podcast. That's really important for the algorithms to pick me up and push me out, so that we get more of a community here, because that's kind of also something else I'm trying to build as a community. There's also links to the Medium publication that goes along with this, and there's links to my other podcast called Where All the Ladies At. It is a history podcast focused solely on women, and this month we are focused on Black History Month because it's still a thing, no matter what anybody says. And so that there's that. So make sure if you're something you're into, check it out too. It'd be really great. And all the same things apply: like, review, share, comment, watch it. It would be I would appreciate it very much. Thank you so much. And that's it. That's all my shameless plugging. That's all the housekeeping. So let's get started. Let's talk about the Star. So this card is more than just a glittery card. Okay. It's about hope, it's about healing, and it's about reminding you that you are the star of your own life, right? That's the overall general meaning. So let's paint a bigger picture of it, okay? So let's say you're lost in the desert. It's hot, it's dry, your feet are killing you, and your hair's all over the place. You're seriously starting to question your life choices, right? You've been walking and walking and walking, trying to find the way out. Just when you think you can't take one more step, you spot something in the horizon. An oasis, right? It's small at first, but as you get closer, you see it. Water, life, hope. The oasis is the Star card. The card is this like distant shimmering hope that tells you, hey, keep going. Like, I know it's rough, but you've got this. You're almost there. And the universe is just simply saying, don't forget, I've got you, right? You're not alone in this. You've been struggling with your dreams, your health, whatever it is. The Star is a huge hug. It's reassuring. It's full of optimism. When you see the Star card, it's the universe giving you a wink, right? Everything's going to be okay. The hard stuff is almost over and better days are ahead. Just keep walking and you're going to get there, is kind of the message the Star card has for you, right? In the traditional card, as we mentioned before, there is some specific iconology that is important, okay? So the first one we're going to talk about is the figure. Often this figure is naked and kneeling by a pool of water, right? The figure is pouring water from 2 jugs. One jug of water is flowing into the pond while the other one is spilling onto the land, right? This is basically talking about balance is key. You can't just focus on one thing. You need to balance both your inner world, your emotions, and your spiritual needs with your outer world, your material world. Sometimes when I see this, I also talk about the fact that this is saying, like, it's okay to pour into yourself as much as you pour into other people. That's how I typically feel it reads for me, is that, you know, the bigger jug is going into the lake, right? And that's you. And then the smaller jug is going onto the land, and that's other people. And so there is a balance that has to be had. You can't just pour only into yourself, and you can't just pour only into other people, but it is okay if you pour more into yourself, because that's going to help you have more reserves for other people, if that makes sense. That's kind of how I see it, right? The water flowing into the pond is typically representative of emotions, your inner feelings, your intuition, your spiritual energy. It's the idea of restoring and nurturing yourself. And that's what I was just saying. Water nourishes, heals, and replenishes. So when you see this image, you're being reminded that it's time to give yourself that care and attention. This is where my mind goes most of the time. You've been through some tough times, and now it's moment to replenish. You have to fill your cup first. That's something that we're not really taught, especially us women. We're taught that filling our own cup is selfish, and that is not the case. You have to fill your own cup first, otherwise you cannot fill other people's. Think about it. If you pour all the water out of that pitcher to other people, then when you go to do it for yourself, what happens? You don't have anything left, right? And just vice versa, like, you have to have that balance, but you have to fill your cup too, right? The water that's flowing onto the land kind of represents manifestation as well, right? So this is where you take those nurturing, healing emotions and make them real. You bring them into the physical world. You can dream all you want, but you have to take action. Dreams are great. I say dream. Dream big, dream hard, dream fast, dream all the time. But if you don't take those steps forward, those dreams are never going to come true. I had to learn that the hard way, guys. My partner, my best friend, they've taught me that over the past 2 years. And I'm 47, guys. It took me to 45. And not even then, I'd say 47. Like, I think I'm just now starting to realize that's kind of the important message that my partner has been teaching me, is that it's okay to be selfish sometimes. You have to pour into yourself. And it's funny because I used to say that to other people, but I didn't believe it about myself. So I think that this card is kind of like that, right? You can dream, you can have them, but if you don't take action, and that includes taking care of yourself, nothing is going to happen. Nothing. The land in this case is symbolic of fertile ground where your hopes and dreams can blossom into something tangible, okay? So there's a couple different ways you can look at this, right? And it may depend on the context of the question. It may depend on the feeling and the energy of the moment. But yeah, that's kind of where that's going. All right, so the stars above. This is one that a lot of people kind of miss out on, which is weird because it is the star card. So if you look up the stars above the figure, those are not just there for decoration. Those twinkling beauties, they're cosmic guides. They're shining down on you. You kind of can think of those as kind of like your personal cheerleading squad, maybe your spirit squad. That's what I like to call mine. They're kind of letting you know that you're not alone. So no matter how much you think you're alone, the universe is always there. Your guides are always there. Every star is a reminder that your path is guided. So don't forget about them. But maybe the biggest one is that central star. There's always like one star that's bigger than the rest. And that's your inner star. That's the party that shines bright. It could light up everybody, right? It's your authentic self. It's your potential. It's your dreams. It's your purpose. The big star in the middle reminds you that no matter how dark the night seems, you've got that inner light. It's there. We all have it. Well, I don't want to be negative. Some of us' light is not a bright light. Some of us is like a red glowing, like warning alert sign. Anyways, the big star in the middle reminds how dark you've got inner light, right? It's always there. It's glowing brightly. Even though the star card is asking you to remember that light and let it guide you. So it's also talking about, the way I kind of interpret that is that star is your true path, right? It's always there. It's always shining bright. But if you don't look up and see it, or you don't nourish it, you're not gonna find it. You have to take action to reach that path. It's there, it's shining, it's you, but you have to do stuff to get to it, right? So in the end of the day, star is about hope, healing, and finding a way back to a place of peace and optimism. It's about nurturing yourself. It's about letting the universe guide you. It's just saying, hey, you're doing great, and it's a reminder the universe has got you. So that's important. Now, if we jump into the numerology, and I'm getting a little bit better about numerology, I think. It's number 17 in the deck, right? So, like always I say, you have to break those down. There's only a few numbers that you leave whole, like 11 and 20, 22, and that kind of thing, right? If you break the number 17 down, it becomes 8 when you add the digits 1 plus 7, right? 8 is a very powerful number. It's a cosmic number of abundance and success. I am a life path 8, and so that means for me that I should be very successful, but usually typically later in life. So it makes sense that now I'm starting to be successful. It's a number of manifestation. It's a number that's about having the ability to create tangible results and material wealth. It's a reputation for being a number of balance. If you turn it on its side, it is the infinity symbol, right? Balance and manifestation are key themes in the star. So that makes perfect sense. So in numerology, the star card tells us that when you align your inner and outer worlds, the abundance you seek can flow to you naturally. It is a cosmic math equation, basically. Balance plus manifestation equals success. Sounds simple, but it's not. So as I said, 8 also symbolizes infinity, and that means there's a lot of potential, limitless possibilities. It's a reminder that if you keep going, success will happen for you. So think about that when you're also pulling the card, right? It's an 8. So also you can use that if the person knows their life path number. If they pull this card and their life path number is an 8, that could be a very fortuitous sign for them, right? All right, so how do you read the card? Let's talk about it. Remember, when I say read the card, I do know everybody reads things differently. This is the traditional way, and that means that reversed is also the traditional way, which means that it's usually the negative aspects of the card, okay? So if the star comes up, it's like a high five. It's saying you're on the right track. It's a card of hope and inspiration and healing. So if you've been feeling down, the card is like, it's saying, hey, like, you got good vibes. Come on. It's all about being in alignment with your true self, feeling spiritually connected. You're stepping into power. Good things are on the horizon, things of that nature. Now, when it's in reversed, it's kind of saying you're losing sight of your guiding light, you know. It could mean that your hope has been dry. You're not feeling very hopeful. You're feeling disconnected, maybe. You're stuck. You're just stuck and you can't find your way out. But I think the big thing here would be don't get too down on yourself, okay? If this card comes, and even if it comes reversed, it is saying, like, turn the light back on. You can realign yourself, get back into the flow, and just trust things will turn around, right? Girl, just keep swimming. It's a Dory card. It's saying just keep swimming. You've got this. The universe is there. You don't need to freak out. It's all good. Okay, and that's kind of the way it talks about reversed. Sometimes also when it's reversed for me, I read it as saying, like, you're giving too much away, and you're not fulfilling yourself enough. And that's another way I read it. Now let's talk. Hold on, I gotta pet my cat. Just for a second. I had the urge. The universe said pet the cat. All right. Anyways, so now let's move on to element, sign, and planet, right? So the star is attached to the air element. This is a realm of thoughts and ideas and communication. So if you're feeling a little mentally scattered, the star can help you out with that. Because it is attached to the air element, therefore it's going to be attached to an air sign, right? And that is Aquarius. So Aquariuses are quirky. They're pretty forward-thinking, innovative. They love community. They just do things a little differently. So if you're into thinking outside the box or making big changes, this card is a great card for you. It's saying embrace weird, and it's going to lead you to success. So the planet that is attached to this is Uranus. Uranus is about breaking boundaries and shaking things up, so that makes perfect. So if you happen to be feeling a little rebellious and you want to change the world, this is a great card for that, right? So now we're going to get into some of the more interesting things. Not that the rest haven't been interesting, but I always like talking about the crystals and herbs and all that kind of stuff. So if you are looking for a crystal to coincide with the star, aquamarine would be a great one. The crystals, it's got a calming vibe. It's meant to help you tap into your intuition and get clear about your dreams. It is kind of sort of, aquamarine is kind of like a spiritual GPS for sure. If you're looking for herb, there's nothing more. Honestly, sage is an answer to everything. This clears out negative energy. It purifies and it protects, right? It keeps your space nice and clear so you can focus on a positive energy. When it comes to the god or goddess, I think Aphrodite is a good fit for this. She's the goddess of love, beauty, and desire, of course. You're beautiful inside and out, and she helps you connect to your inner goddess and love yourself unconditionally, which is one of the main messages of the star. Of course, the color is going to be blue. It's clear sky, deep ocean. It's calming, it's healing. It often represents wisdom. So if you draw this card, maybe wear some blue, kind of get into that aspect, And the way you can use these all is simple. Like, you can use them in spell work, you can in spiritual practice. Even if you don't worship Aphrodite, you can call on her or call on the energy that she uses. All of these things can be very helpful. And actually, you can help guide your querent if you have that, right? Maybe they draw this card, maybe say, hey, why don't you stick around with some aquamarine? You could wear this jewelry, you can buy it, that kind of thing. So there's ways you can use this information to kind of help with everything. All right, so how do you use this card in daily mindfulness? So, gratitude, baby. Every morning, gratitude. Whether you draw this card or not, I definitely think gratitude is a must. But gratitude is a way to keep the energy of the star card kind of focused. You can do visualization, of course. That's always a big one. Visualize dreams coming true. Visualize goals being realized. These are all aspects of the star card. If you're feeling drained or emotionally exhausted, you can do a little self-care, try a healing bath with aquamarine crystals. That could be really cool. Or maybe smudge the area to maybe do both. And then, of course, you can always do affirmations. I know people think affirmations are silly, but I happen to like them. You can say something like, I am the star of my own story. I trust the universe and I trust myself. And just repeat it whenever you feel like your focus and your your confidence is wavering. I think that's a good thing. That's it. That's the star, guys. As usual, the tower. I don't know what that means. There's something for sure. The tarot card week, it usually runs a little bit shorter than the Monday episode. So I hope it helps. I hope you've gotten something out of this. If you did, by all means, please message me. You can do so through the links to my social media or the email. If you want to support the podcast financially, you can do that through the Buy Me a Coffee and Patreon. Or if you just want to share, comment, review, do all that kind of good stuff, that would be amazing as well. If you want to do both, hey, that's up to you. Your choice, not mine. If you want more information, make sure you check out the Medium publication. And if you are into history and women, please check out my other podcast called Where All the Ladies At. Okay. I think that's it for this week, guys. I really appreciate it. Please come back next week and check me out. Whether you're listening to me on Spotify or you're looking at my mug on YouTube, I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate you. And as always, guys, stay curious and be blessed.